guys, so we are here today to talk about Shane Dawson because he's back. Now Shane has been slowly creeping his way back online for months now. I don't think he ever really left Ryland's vlog channel, and Ryland has actually moved, so Ryland is his fiance, Ryland has actually moved his main channel over to like a weekly vlog channel so that he could migrate like his favorite supporters while kind of leaving the haters behind or the critical people behind, which a lot of YouTubers do. I believe Morgan, his sister, did the same thing. So over the weekend, Shane was on Ryland's podcast. He has a podcast called The Sip with Lizzie Gordon, I think is her name. And so they had Shane on the podcast, which is Shane's first like real foray into being back online. Now he, like I said, he has dipped his toe into being online. He has been posting on Instagram and like posting stories whenever he's having sales on his fucking merch with like a no pressure though guys, but like my merch is on sale, but like no pressure post, which everyone is judging. And also, like I said, he's been around his vlog channel, but this is like his first real foray into being on a video. So I want to talk about it and see kind of what this means and if Shane Dawson will be able to get back into the internet. So before I get into this video, subscribe to my channel. I upload twice a week. I just uploaded a video about Mysterious, which kind of ties into this video because I do have to question the timing of this Shane Dawson comeback. So yeah, let's talk about what was discussed on the podcast. They talked about their move to Colorado. They talked about mental health a lot, about how Shane was having S-word ideation and thinking about committing and they talked about how Shane has had to deal with OCD since his drama. And then they talked about, they also talked about having guests on their podcast. So they've moved to Colorado since then. And I guess like the podcast co-host also moved to Colorado. I don't fucking know. But they moved to Colorado and they talked about having guests on the podcast, which would be so interesting to see, just to see like what kind of backlash a guest would get on Ryland's podcast. Because while Ryland isn't Shane, he is Shane's SO. So he has stuck by Shane and like is basically Shane's next person. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of backlash people would get, because they talked about having Kendall Ray on, who is I think she does true crime. And I would just be interested to see the backlash. That's just me though. And then Shane talks about his goals moving forward, because like obviously that's what people want to know. He said he wants to make horror movies, that he's written 2 scripts. He talks about YouTube and says that he's kind of like waiting for inspiration to hit. He says like he's ready to come back, but he just doesn't know what to post about anymore. He says that kind of what he was doing before was obviously the more pop culture things, the docu-series about Jeffree and Tana and Graveyard Girl and whoever, but like he's like, I'm not really into pop culture anymore, so I don't really know what I would do. I will say, I think calling Shane a documentary filmmaker is a fucking reach, because the co-host actually said that Shane was a good storyteller, and that's what I think it is, because Shane knows what the story his podcast or his videos are going to tell before he even records them. And he's very good at painting a redemption arc for people and making people look human, but that doesn't really, but like he's a very, very biased filmmaker, because like every single person he's done videos about, he has positioned them in a good light, except for maybe Jake Paul, but even him, he didn't go too hard on him. So like, that's just my own sauce. Then he says that it would be kind of fake to do a series on pop culture because he's not into it anymore. So like he doesn't know what he wants to do next, but he doesn't want to force anything. And like the podcast was weird to watch because I think it was very manipulative, but like in a very sneaky way, because I watched it and like even I was enjoying the podcast. Like there were times when like I caught myself smiling and being like, well, that's cute, and then I was like, Kayla, get it together. And like I'm very torn because I want to let people grow. I'm not a cancel culture person where I'm like, get this person off the internet for fucking ever. However, Shane has done some horrible shit, and I thought it was very manipulative of him to sit on line and talk about his mental health and not talk about what got him there. And I'm not here to attack his mental health. I totally understand that going through what he went through with, you know, being canceled off the internet really probably was not good for him. It probably was mentally draining and mentally exhausting and an awful time for his mental health. The lighting got a little spooky in here, but I just think that it's manipulative to talk about how your mental health was affected in a way that we all know people will relate with, and sympathize with without discussing how you got here or what happened. Because what happens in instances like this, it's like when YouTubers make apologies and don't talk about what they did. What happens in instances like this is that people will be like, oh, I'm sorry, so that their subscribers can be like, oh, well, they said they were sorry. But they don't actually discuss what they did, so people who don't know what the fuck happened don't know what the fuck happened. And I think this is the same instance. I think, you know, like I said, I'm all for growth, but you need to actually tell us why what you did was wrong and what you did that was so wrong. Because in this, it just feels to me like Shane is talking about his mental health struggles as a thing that happened to him, not a thing that was a direct consequence of his own actions. Like, he just seems to be taking no accountability, no responsibility for what he did. We all know the apology he posted on YouTube back in the day was absolute trash, and this doesn't make up for that. This isn't any better. Like, he just is testing the waters to see how people will react. And what's wild is Ryland's vlog channel is getting hundreds of thousands of views, especially because they're documenting their move. And this video on Ryland's channel, when I watched it the other day, had 200,000 views, and the likes to dislike ratio was positive. People were happy to see Shane. All of the comments were positive, talking about mental health. And I think talking about mental health was a strategic ploy. And I know that sounds awful. And I know people will be like, Kayla, you're fucking reaching. You're being a little bit ridiculous. But I mean, look at how it turned out. I think when he knew coming back, like, Shane is not stupid. Shane knows exactly how to utilize YouTube for what he wants. And this was him, A, testing the waters, and B, seeing if he could manipulate people enough to feel bad for him where they won't think about what he did. Because it's been a long time. What do they say? Time heals all wounds. And I think that he's hoping that people will have forgotten. And so this just kind of leads me to believe what I've always believed, is that Shane's gonna try to slowly just come back to YouTube. One day he'll just upload a video. I don't think he'll ever upload on his main channel, at least not for a while, but what he'll do is what Ryland did. They'll move to a secondary channel and they will start uploading there. Sorry, we had to move. I was a little light there. He'll do what Ryland did, which is move his YouTube channel to a secondary channel. Like, he has like 80 million secondary channels, or he'll create a new secondary channel where only his like die-hard followers who still exist out there, like Mysterious T, will follow him and support him there and claim he has grown and whatever. But I don't think he'll ever actually address what happened. I think he'll address it offhand, like how Jacqueline addresses her lipsticks, where she's just like, oh my god, worst time of my life, lipsticks, lol, right? But like, with no seriousness at all. Shane will continue to just say, oh, it was just a joke, it was bad jokes, I was stupid, etc. But I don't think he'll ever actually sit down, discuss what he did, why it was wrong, and kind of where he's gone from there and what he's learned in the last year. And like, that's the only way I'll allow it to move forward, because I think that's what people deserve who were hurt by his actions, who were disgusted by his actions. They deserve for him to sit down, discuss what he did, why it was wrong, and then what the fuck he's done for this last year. Because I know he says he's been in therapy, but like, that's not enough for me. I'm sorry. I'm a hard ass. And I want more than that. I want him to sit down and tell me why what he did was wrong. And then I think he could like move forward and grow. But I don't think anyone wants to have that fucking conversation. And he doesn't want anyone who maybe missed out on the drama or people who have forgotten about the drama to remember it again. So he's hoping everyone will forget. He can just kind of slowly creep back into Ryland's channel, use this podcast as a way to like test the waters, and then he's going to slowly start posting something on one of his secondary channels and never addressing it. And to me, that's not okay. Like I said, I'm all for growth, but at the same time, I think there's some people that just like don't deserve to come back, and I'm not sure where I stand on Shane in regards to that. I mean, fuck, if James Charles can still have a platform, what's wrong with Shane Dawson having one? Right. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know where I stand. I just thought the documentary was manipulative, and I also have to question the timing just real quickly here. So in my last video, I talked about Mysterious's video, and a lot of stuff has been coming out about Mysterious being a huge Shane Dawson stan. And so I saw, actually, I think Here for the Tea posted it being like, I liked Mysterious's video, but like, this stuff coming out of Shane makes me sus. Like, she's like, what's with the timing? Like, was Shane feeding information to Mysterious about Trisha? Which, like, listen, Shane loves a good conspiracy, so he can't hate on me for this. But like, the timing is just interesting that like right now, while the internet is literally eating Trisha alive, Now all of a sudden he's like slowly like, hi, it's me again. It's just interesting timing considering people were already starting to link Mysterious and Shane and wondering what if he had any input in her series. So that's kind of, and I mean, Shane has always called Trisha a pathological liar, which, like, I mean, no one's questioning. But it's just, like, interesting timing for me to wonder if the Mysterious series and Trisha's takedown had anything to do with, or had anything to do with the timing of Shane's comeback. It just seems a little suspicious to me. Hi, Editing Kayla here. There have been some new developments since I recorded. So I believe it was yesterday. Yes, yesterday, Jeffree Star posted a tweet that said, I'll put it up here somewhere. Brand new video will be up this Friday. Shane and I react to finding our makeup collab in Nordstrom Rack. We went on the hunt with cameras and I answer all of your questions. So like I said, I believe this was Shane's foray into coming back, and the fact that he's continuing to link himself to fucking Jeffree Star. Remember earlier in this video when I was like, I'm torn, maybe Shane has grown. Sometimes I'm far nicer than I think I am. Like, the fact that he has decided to, like, coming back on his husband's channel makes total sense, but the fact that he has decided to come back on Jeffree Star's channel talking about their collab, like, it makes me think that they're going to, first of all, lie about why their makeup is in Nordstrom Rack. Second of all, they're going to tease bringing the collection back. And depending on what the, like, feedback is like, they might do it. Because, like, it's wild to me that, like, these two people have not decided to distance themselves from each other. Like, Jeffree Star has SA allegations against him. There is evidence that he paid off people that he SA'd in the past. And the fact that Shane, and this has only come out in the last year, and so the fact that Shane is really out here collaborating with this man still shows me exactly the kind of person that Shane Dawson is. I know earlier in this video I was nice. I was like, maybe there's hope for him, but this just shows me that he's just trying to make fucking money, because Jeffree does run his merch company. And he's always pushing his merch. And please also notice that every single time you see Shane Dawson, even in Ryland's vlogs, the only thing he's ever wearing is his own merch shirts. He doesn't wear anything else. He got rid of those ratty shirts with all the holes in them when he was pretending to be poor. And now all he wears is his merch shirts, which is funny considering I know he's done series on subliminal marketing. And now he's only wearing his merch shirts. He's collaborating with a man who has SA allegations. Like, I'm back on the Shane is trash train. The way my mind changes throughout this video. I just think it's interesting. I'll be interested to see what this video is. I can't believe I'm going to have to fucking watch a Jeffree Star video. Literally kill me. But this is just further proof to me that Shane has not grown, has not changed, is just in it for the money, and he's testing the waters on Jeffree's channel. Because the fact that Jeffree still has a channel is also wild to me. The man literally fled LA to Wyoming. His makeup launches do not do even nearly the numbers they used to. But I mean, he still has, like, let's see, how many followers does he have on Twitter? He still has 6.7 million followers on Twitter. Oh, apparently he follows nobody on Twitter. That's weird. And he still has, what? He still has 16.3 million subscribers on YouTube. So, like, while his videos don't nearly get the views they used to, he's still getting a million views a video. Like, his last collection video, which was a week ago, got 1.1 million views. Okay, this is not a Jeffree Star video. Sorry, I'm ranting. But yeah, I just thought this was an interesting addition to Shane coming back. And I think this, again, like, he's slowly been on Ryland's channel. Now is the podcast. Now next week he's doing a video with Jeffree Star. Like, Shane Dawson is coming back. It's inevitable at this point. And I'll be interested to see what he does, but I'm not impressed with the way he's doing it. And I'm not impressed with the people he's associating himself with. Like, the fact that he chose to associate with Jeffree Star in this comeback. The fact that they haven't decided that they're both too fucking toxic to associate with each other is wild to me. And I hate it. So, I mean, that's really all I have to say. This will be a short and sweet video because, I mean, the podcast, they didn't really talk about a lot. Again, it was, like I said, I think it was just Shane testing the waters. He talked about mental health a bit. I didn't think it was a bad podcast. I think it was, like, smart on his side because it did make him look good, but I still don't trust him, and I still want to see more before he comes back. Like, I think his first video back needs to be, like, I don't want to say like Tati, but like how she addressed everything when she came back. Now, I do think that Tati did a terrible job of addressing things, and I think that Shane will do the same. But I have to at least give them the benefit of the doubt until they let me down, which I think they will. Let me know down below if you guys watched the podcast, what you think about Shane Dawson coming back. Is he one of those people that you think like should never come back, or or cats? Or is he one of those people that you think that if he came back in the right way and he did like an actual apology video and actually took ownership of what he did and discussed what he did was wrong and kind of discussed what he's been doing for the last year and a bit, working on himself, if you would be open to letting him come back? I don't know. He's done a lot of shady shit, like a lot of shady shit. So I would love to hear what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!